Every crime leaves a trail, but not every trail leads answers. Here, we follow the cases that haunt, the mysteries that linger, and the truths buried in darkness. Welcome to Veil of Mysteries.
America's most dangerous mafia boss, secrets finally revealed. For decades, his name was whispered in the shadows, never spoken aloud in public. Law enforcement called him the Ghost, but within the criminal underworld he was feared as the man who ruled with silence and blood. His empire stretched across cities, built on gambling, extortion, narcotics, and political corruption. He didn't just run the mob, he redefined what it meant to be untouchable. This is the true story of America's most dangerous mafia boss, a man who manipulated politicians, silenced rivals, and controlled entire neighborhoods from the shadows. And for the first time, his secrets are finally being revealed. The rise of power. Born into poverty, his childhood was marked by violence and survival. By his teens, he was already a street enforcer, learning the deadly code of the mob: loyalty above all, betrayal met with blood. Unlike other young gangsters who flaunted their power, he stayed quiet, strategic, and patient. His ability to think like a businessman and kill like a soldier set him apart. By his mid-20s, he orchestrated a series of assassinations that eliminated his rivals. But instead of leaving trails of bodies in the streets, he made them vanish. His killings were so clean, so methodical, that detectives would later admit it was like chasing a phantom. That's when the FBI gave him his chilling nickname, the Ghost. The Empire of Fear. What made him the most dangerous boss wasn't just his control of rackets, it was his reach into politics and law enforcement. Police officers were on his payroll, judges owed him favors, and senators accepted his money. He wasn't just feared in the streets, he was respected in the corridors of power. His network extended from New York to Chicago and even overseas. He used front businesses to launder millions, buying nightclubs, shipping companies, and casinos. But behind the glitter of neon lights was a river of blood. Those who tried to challenge him disappeared without a trace, bodies buried in swamps, lakes, and abandoned warehouses. Witnesses who dared to testify never made it to court. Some were found hanging in motel rooms, staged as suicides. Others simply vanished, their names added to a growing list of missing persons connected to the mob. What kept him untouchable for so long was his obsession with secrecy. He never wrote anything down. Orders were delivered face to face, never over phones. He lived without a paper trail, no bank accounts, no property in his name. Even his closest lieutenants rarely heard him speak more than a few words at a time. But his most dangerous weapon wasn't a gun, it was fear. Every man who worked for him knew the price of betrayal. A whispered rumor says he once forced a soldier to dig his own grave, only to let him live as a reminder of what could happen. That soldier never disobeyed him again. For nearly 3 decades, the Ghost seemed unstoppable. But like all kings of crime, his reign wasn't eternal. It wasn't bullets that brought him down, it was betrayal. One of his most trusted lieutenants, facing life in prison, agreed to cooperate with the FBI. Hidden microphones recorded secret meetings. Offshore accounts were traced back to him. And for the first time, law enforcement had a glimpse into the empire that had ruled in silence for decades. The trial that followed shook America. Former allies testified in exchange for protection, revealing grisly details of murders and corruption. Ordinary citizens finally learned how deep his reach had gone, and how close organized crime had come to controlling entire sectors of society. Court documents later unsealed exposed shocking truths. He had ties with politicians at the highest levels. He secretly controlled entire unions, dictating strikes and contracts. He ordered over 40 murders personally approved with a single nod. He used coded funerals to send messages to rival families, every flower arrangement and him carrying hidden meaning. But perhaps the most chilling revelation was that even behind bars, his influence never ended. Informants claimed he continued giving orders from his prison cell, smuggling messages through lawyers, family members, and corrupt guards. Today, years after his conviction, his name still lingers like a curse in certain neighborhoods. Some say hidden caches of money remain buried, guarded by his loyal men. Others believe he ordered insurance hits to be carried out decades after his death, ensuring his enemies could never celebrate. The story of America's most dangerous mafia boss isn't just about one man, it's about the dark power of fear, silence, and corruption. And though the law finally caught up with him, the scars of his reign remain etched in the streets he once ruled.